Hi everyone, welcome back into My Chamber TV. We are the heartbeat of the Tampa Bay community, and today we are featuring the Upper Tampa Bay Chamber of Commerce. I'm your host, Barbara Marville Kelly, and we happen to have a very interesting guest who I know, if you have air conditioning here in Florida, which I hope you do, or if you don't, you may want to talk to our consultant, Manny. Thank you for coming on the show today.
You're welcome.
I can't wait for you to share what you do for those of us homeowners, those of us who have air conditioners, to avoid the pitfalls of being, do I dare say, taken advantage of?
Yes, so it's for sure that happens more often than not.
Why is that?
Well, lots of times the people come out to your house on commission only. If you're a service guy on commission only, you're honest with everybody all day long, and you go home and you say, "Hi, honey, I didn't make any money today, but I was honest." So they're put in a position that they have to sell you things that you may not need.
And I've been down that road before,
Yeah.
several times. So now you've been in this air conditioning business for about 50 years,
Yes.
correct? So today you're actually a consultant for various companies, right?
Right.
And so let's say I have had somebody come out to my house and I just didn't buy their story. You would be the person that I would call, right?
Sure, or even better, call me first and I'll
Yeah, exactly.
you'll see the difference, but yes.
How do you determine which company to go with?
Well, not every company who I represent can do every job. Some guys could do jobs better in one way. They may not have access to that equipment. They may not know how to install that equipment, because some of the equipment is highly technical now, the multiple speeds and variations. So Joe Schmo can't put that system in right, and so basically you'll have a very expensive system not working correctly.
I see. So are there brands that you personally can recommend out there based on your experience? I mean, you have vast experience here.
Well, Train and Carrier are the two leading brands out there. They have been year after year after year. You go to multiple places. You can look that up and see it. But they are on the top. They're the ones that will last longer. They cost a little bit more, but they're with you longer rather than an inefficient system or an expensive system that, even though it has a 10-year warranty, you'll be dishing out money from year 2 on fixing it for labor.
Wow, yeah. And the average homeowner, I mean, we're not schooled in air conditioners or repair. So when someone comes out to the house, you take them at their word. And then you get knowledge about what really happens, right? And so they end up trying to sell you a bill of goods. And I'm not throwing anybody under the bus, but my husband and I were taken advantage of when we were told that we needed some kind of copper piping and this and that and this and that. Chances are you said we probably didn't need it.
Probably not.
It was like $900.
Even worse.
Even worse, exactly. Yeah. What kind of tips can you give our homeowners for ACs, especially down here in Florida? I mean, we work the daylights out of our air conditioners.
Well, first thing I say, leave the thermostat set at one setting. Don't move it up and down.
Okay.
It's less wear and tear on the system itself. If you're going to go out for a little while, just leave it on. It used to be that we used to have thermostats that were programmable and they were Energy Star rated. Well, Energy Star dropped that. They no longer use that. You're better off setting and forgetting. Okay. So that's one thing.
Okay.
So if you have a service guy come out, you walk around with them. Don't go in the house and go on the phone.
I do that.
You need to walk around with him and see what's going on. Okay. Just stand right there. If he doesn't like it, then tell him to leave.
Well, I had to ask someone to leave because I just didn't feel right with what they were telling me.
Yeah.
And so I mean, this is the first time I've interviewed you as a consultant here on My Chamber TV, and I love this idea. I mean, just imagine if you have some issues with your air conditioner or you feel like you've been taken advantage of, if you call Manny, he can really give you some great advice and probably save a lot of money.
And I can end up giving him a price on a high-end system at a reasonable price, because I deal with dealers who aren't looking to make a killing. They're looking to save a customer, to have them from year to year, and maybe put in another system 10 years from now,
Right.
not just a hit and run.
Right, exactly. And so what made you get away from the other part of being in the business for 50 years?
Well, I owned my own company for a long time, and that's how I ran mine the correct way.
Yes.
Okay, and then when I came to Florida, I went, wow, I can't walk in somebody's house and do this. I don't do a dog and pony show. I don't sit you down and start talking until you're ready to scream or throw me out. So I come in, I look and see what you need, not what I need to sell you, because I'm not getting bonuses from anybody. Okay, I'm flat rate paid. Doesn't matter to me. So, and I'll just tell you what's best for you. Someone will say, well, you need a system that has a high SEER rating. And that's like miles per gallon, how well it works. Well, yes, very true. You will, the higher the SEER, the better, but what did you pay for it? If you paid an extreme amount for that, and you divide out the difference between the less expensive one and that one, and you see that cost you $1,000, how long is it going to take for you to get that $1,000 back? I have a chart from TICO that shows you, and 9 out of 10 times when these guys quote them, you're never going to get your money back. The only one who got money was them. So I'm straight with them. I'll just say I'm like the sales prevention team.
I love it. I love
So-
this. So what is a high SEER rating for our viewers that aren't
SEER's
familiar
rating
with
is seasonal energy efficiency ratio. It's like miles per gallon.
Oh, okay.
Is what it is. The same
Okay.
thing. And the higher that number, the better it is. The smaller your air conditioner is, the less you're going to get your money back, okay, because it doesn't use that much to begin with. So when I go to someone's house, again, I make sure that the SEER rating matches their budget and their house.
Okay, and that was one of my next questions, is how you determine the size of an air conditioner for the size of your home.
Well, flat rate, for every 500 square feet in a home in Florida, it's a ton of air conditioning. But I measure the house, and we make sure some homes have better insulation, the smaller the unit you need,
Sure,
okay?
sure.
You have a tighter house, you need a smaller unit.
I
You know?
I see. That's really interesting. So you did explain what the SEER is. The brands that you mentioned were Train and Carrier.
Right.
And they've been around a long time.
As long as me.
And me.
And you.
When
Yeah.
I was selling brand new homes way many years ago, those were the brands
Yeah,
that we were
Carrier
using.
was it. Carrier was the first.
Yeah, yeah,
And I was right there along with that.
And
so.
clearly, because you are an honest individual as a consultant and you're working with honest companies, so I would guess there has to be a match of enthusiasm there.
Sure, and I can walk around Publix and not worry about being attacked.
Isn't that the truth? That's a good one. So, the thing is, you have a question here, and this is probably a really good question because we get frantic when I am hot. Do not be around me. I can't handle it physically. I get sick from it. So I'm thinking, the first person that comes out to my home to sell me a new air conditioner, do I want to go with that? What is the first question that I want to ask? What is the knowledge that I need to know if I want to back off and maybe have a second opinion, like a doctor, right?
Well, first of all, they come in your house and they sit down with you and they want, even if you got talked into buying it, you still have 3 days to cancel because
Right.
they're in your home.
Right.
So don't feel like, oh, I gave him the money and I have to go with him. The law says you have 3 days to cancel.
Yes.
And that's very important because they won't tell you that.
No,
Okay.
no.
So I think 3 estimates is the best way to go. It should be written out in English.
Yes.
Exactly what you're getting, what you're not getting, okay? And so you can compare them because you don't want, you pick the low guy, and sometimes low guy, I'm the low guy lots of times, but I wrote everything I'm doing.
Sure.
So my competition says he's probably not doing something. No, it's in my contract. It doesn't say one system installed, or up to 15 SEER. I saw that on a contract the other day. Up to 15 SEER means it could be anything.
Anything,
And,
right.
and you sign that, what are you going to get? He's going to give you the lower end. You got
yeah.
to read those things.
Yeah, you've got to read those contracts.
Yeah,
and-
call me last. It's way better for all of us.
Yeah.
I should be the last company that comes out.
Yeah, exactly. And it's so nice to have somebody like you. Now, we have just about a minute remaining. You've been a member with the Chamber of Commerce for how long?
15 years.
15 years.
Yeah.
What does that tell you? I know it's been working well for you, but you tell us in your words.
Well, I came here from Boston, as my accent probably still tells people, and I knew no one, and I ended up coming to the chamber, and I met person after person after person, and they become family, and they are my family, and I love them, and I can't say too much about them because there's just so many things they've done for me and I do for them. And chamber, they're my friends, and we pass work to one another. It's really a great chamber.
It is.
You know?
It is. And we were talking about that earlier, about the relationship building, and that is what it's all about. And I'm glad that you mentioned about it feeling like a
Right.
family. I feel like it's like a family when we
is.
do these interviews.
I run the relationship building meetings every Friday. We have them in the morning and the afternoon, and we have 30 to 50 people there. And Renee Garcia and myself run this meeting, and we love it, and we love doing
That's
it.
awesome. Thank you so much,
You're
Manny, for
welcome.
being on here. If you have any questions, give Manny a call. Thanks for being with us. We'll be right
Thank you.
back.